Hi everyone. We are live. I see some people already here. Please, I want you to drop an emoji on the comments. This is the first time that we are trying live, and it's going to be really interesting. So, I want you to just drop an emoji on the comments. I want to know that um, I have some people in the room. I'm not alone. Yeah, please let me see you drop some emoji. I can see some here. So please, I would like us to talk to someone that is supposed to be here today. Remind them, tell them that we are about to get started. This live is just going to run for is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and we're going to be doing a lot in that time. So I hope we are ready. I hope we are ready. So please shout out to someone, tell them that they should join us right now. So I'll just give a moment and then we'll be kicking off very, very soon. I'm seeing some persons, but please, I want to see your comments. Just let me know that you can hear me or drop an emoji. Let me know that you can hear me. We'll be starting in the next 3 minutes. Let's try and just ensure that most of us are here. Thank you so much. Thank you for that comment. I can see that comment. Thank you. So I can see CMA Music. Thank you so much. I think I'm having a bit of a difficult time seeing other people on this live. I'm having a bit of a difficult time seeing other people here, but just like I said, we're going to be kicking off very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining in. This is a much needed topic, and that is why we're delving into it today. And this is going to be like a very practical session. So please get your notepads out, and we are going to dig into it very soon. And of course, you already know that we're going to be talking about sales automation today. Okay, Destiny says you can hear me. Yeah, I see that. And all right. All right, guys. So let's just hold on for 2 more minutes and then we'll kick off. All right, 1 more minute and we'll be kicking off. 1 more minute. Yeah, all right, guys. So we're ready to go. And once again, thank you guys for jumping in. This is our first live session we are holding on YouTube, and I think it's quite nice and unlike what we usually do on Google Meet. So let's see how this goes. Maybe we'll keep having this session on YouTube, depending on how smooth we have it. But I'm glad we say that you can hear me. Please, if at any point you stop hearing me, just drop a comment so that I will know that there is a break somewhere. So, what we have today is how to build a sales marketing automation system, right? And the reason why you have sales and marketing on the same line is because most of the time they overlap, right? And even though our community is mainly sales based, we are putting it together because most of the time, like I said, they overlap. Now, if you've been running a business and you've been running a business for some time, you've been interacting with customers, even if you're working, in a company, I'm very sure that sales is not a foreign subject to you one way or the other. You've heard someone mention sales, right? You've heard someone say, I'm selling to a customer. So it is not a foreign subject to you. But when sales, automation, and systems come together, it's sometimes it sounds like, what are they even talking about? Like, it is going to be like one complex thing, but no, it's not a complex thing, right? If you give yourself some time to digest it, you discover that it's not a complex thing. It's something that anybody can understand, anybody can implement for their business, right? And what we'll be covering, it's mainly geared towards businesses. So if you're that person that every time you wake up and you've been running a business for some time, but you really don't have a system by which you attract and consolidate customers, like you get customers, you just hope and pray that customers come. That prayer, we need to at least make your prayer get towards something else, right? And not always towards praying for customers. Yes, it's good to pray for customers, but even God loves structures. So the idea of this live session is for us to build a system and then automate that system around our business. So that's mainly what we are going to be covering in today's session. Please just give me a moment. All right, so now we are just going to go right into our course. So what are we going to be covering today? So we're going to be covering these four main parts, right? What is sales automation? How to prepare your business for sales automation, sales marketing pipeline, and sales automation tool stack for your business, right? So I've touched a bit on what sales automation is. Like I said, it's not really one complex thing. It's the system by which you get customers for your business. And anytime you wait, I always say that like every time you wait to automate your sales process, you are actually leaving money on the table. You are, keeping the money, or you are pushing money that you would have made if you automate your sales process, right? But most people would, instead of them to spend a few days automating their sales process, they would rather just keep doing things like that, and then they are always hoping and praying that somehow customers would come. Then there's also scenario where then there's also a scenario where most people just feel like, oh, sales automation is expensive and it's not for me. I'll do it when I have money. My brother, my sister, that's not the case. And that is why I bring you this live session, because I am preaching to people that I know that the money is not there like that. You understand? So that is one of the major reasons we decided to do this. So these are the four areas we're going to be covering today. Sales automation. If you have a question, you can just drop it at the comments. You're going to have time to take those questions. Now, sales automation uses software, AI, and conditional workflows to handle manual, repetitive tasks across the sales process. So we're basically using software and conditional workflow. Conditional workflow is like we are putting a pipeline or connecting a series of work steps that you normally take, so that because it's repetitive, you can always have those process work and happen without you being involved in those process. So that is basically what sales automation is all about. Now, something that is very common is that once people hear sales automation, they're like, oh, I want to, do this. How can I do it? What's the tool to use? How can I start using it? But the first thing you need to ask yourself is your business ready for sales automation? Because the truth is that it's not just about jumping to use, is this tool that is raining now, start using it. If you don't use a tool that actually works for your business, you'll be missing the whole point. You'll end up spending money and you'll not be able to maintain that tool for your business. So that leads us to how to prepare your business for sales automation. So we have these very four important things that you have to check while preparing your business for automation. They are very simple, and once you check them, you would be able to ensure that your business is ready for automation. Number one, is there actually a product or service that you offer, and that product or service is good? So you need to have a winning product or service. That's a product or service that you know that people actually love, people want to buy. Don't go and be selling things that, or be selling something that you know that is inferior, right? If you have a service, like if you still need to improve on your service, go and improve on your service before you start automating the process. So you'll not say, oh, people are not buying. Meanwhile, it's not because it's not because of your process, it's actually because of your product. So another thing that you need to prepare for is understand who the people that you're selling to are. So in the coming slide, or in the next few minutes, I'll actually talk about how your target audience affects the kind of sales system that you set up. Number three is defining your budget. So, how much budget have you set out for sales? How much budget have you set out for marketing? Knowing that if you have $0 or $10 or $100 for sales or for marketing, it will determine the kind of tool you can actually use to set up your sales process, right? And it's important that you have that budget defined from the get-go, because there are some tools that cost money that you know that, okay, if I'm using this for my sales process, this is what I'm going to get. And there are some tools that don't cost money that, okay, we don't have this budget, and then let's go for some other tools. And then when we have the budget for them, we can now grow for to that level. Then business capacity is what came to my mind. Now maybe pepper, now maybe salt. Are you the one that is running everything in your business? Are you the one that your manager? You are cooking the food. You're the one doing everything? Are you the one doing everything? Do you also have somebody that helps you? So depending on your business capacity, that would also determine, what you can, the kind of sales automation process that you plan to set up. Finding these things, like I said from the beginning, will actually help a lot, because you find that a lot of people I've had this experience. Someone reach out to me and say, "Oh, I want to build a website," and you do, and you build a website, and you say you want them to do this digital marketing, you want them to do this for you, and they realize that these things that you have built, they need to be maintained. Do you understand? These things that you have built, like, yes, is a system, is an automated process, but you need to actually monitor it, you need to upgrade it, you need to update it. Do you understand? So it is important that you first of all understand your capacity before you actually, go ahead to select the tools and you want to build, and the kind of systems that you also want to implement for your business and your sales process. So some of you already, for your sales process already, you already know, customer moves, right? So every system, for no matter how that business is Chevron, whether the business is Asuso and Co. fashion garment, whether the business is um Ikwe and Co. Please, you can just drop your business name, so I can use as an instance. So no matter the business, every business actually goes through this process. Number one, no matter the business, a customer has to find you. So I just use this instance here. You have a customer that I'm using a fashion business now. So a customer always follows this journey to buy from you. So a customer is saying, "Oh, I want to make," and he needs to find you in digital space. Depending on how he finds, there are different ways he can find you. Either he found you by you showing up, you going to his face to say, "I'm here, oh, this is what I do." And you can do that by, running an ad or reaching out to them. He found you by asking somebody, or the person found you by asking AI. The person found you by checking social media. I did that recently. I was checking for different vendors on Instagram, right? So he needs to find somebody to fix his problem. Number two, when he has found a person, he has to consider that person. That means he has to, like, ask himself, can this person do what I want? He has found you. He has found you on social media, or, he's trying to see what you do. But even in that moment where he has come in contact with you, he's still trying to ask himself, can this person do what I want? He will also ask himself, can I is this person's price, is this person charging me too much, or is this person cheap? He would also want to come, are there other people that are offering cheaper? Can I trust this person to execute the job? Is that once that the person is satisfied, that is only when the person can pay for it. So the customer buys from you. There are some cases that in the decision process, this person has to call someone, a customer rep in the company, to talk to them, right? In some cases, it doesn't have to, depending on your business, especially for service business, he has to talk to someone, right? Most often than not, before he pays for it. So he pays for it. The thought process is that this person is going to return, or this person is going to tell somebody about your business. That is the fourth and the last process. So upon this journey, you build a, I said it's important that you understand that this is your, there is a process where which your customer goes through, and then you build a system around them. This is a standard system, um, marketing pipeline is built upon. So the four steps I just talked about, the four steps of the customer journey. Number one, for that customer, in the last slide, like I said, the first thing is that he's looking for you. Now, you on the other end, you are now trying to build a pipeline on top of his journey, right? So the first layer is that the customer is on one end following through those steps, while you are at the other end, you are building a layer to ensure that every step of the journey, two of you of you are being layered on the same plane. So the first step is that the customer is trying to find you, like he has a need and he's trying to find you, right? Now, that place where he's trying to find you, what can you do to make sure that he finds you? Now, that is where lead generation pipeline comes in. And that is the first component of a sales pipeline setting up for automation. Remember, we are trying to build up to automation, right? And I'm people that it's possible you already have a system, but through this conversation, you will find your system and you find the place where you actually have a system, right? So here in the lead gen pipeline, this is a place where you're trying to meet the customer to actually find you. So how can you position yourself for the customer to find you? I'm sure all of us have heard about content, posting. We also have SEO, right? Having a Google My Business, a website and a landing page, or even reaching out to the customer directly, like any way the customer can find you. Now, that is the first step of your pipeline you have to build. So the first question I'll ask you is that, do you have a system where at the first step of your system, you have a way to get in front of your customers? So how are you getting? Do you have a system that you're getting in front of, you are using to get in front of your customers, right? That is the first step of the system. So if you have that, then that is set. So in our next conversation, we are going to talk about how we automate that step and sync it with the other systems. But you need to, first of all, have a system before you can automate. And it's very easy to design. Even as I'm speaking right now, you can start sketching yours. Okay, this is what I have. And like I said, understand your capacity before you go ahead to, design these things. You don't do social media, do website outreach, do Google My Business, do what's AO is AI search, right? AI optimization. So in AO, you're basically trying to ensure that AI is recommending. So you don't have to do everything depending on your business capacity. You are one person. Do you understand? So if you are two, if you're three, then you can now continue to expand your lead generation pipeline. So I'm just going to say for this fashion business now, let's say he's doing social media, and he's also doing AEO and SEO, right? This person doesn't have a website yet, right? If you have a website, fine. Now, the that you're going to build in your pipeline is qualification and engagement. Now, what does that mean? It is in that stage where your customer is trying to consider you. This level I talked about here, the customer is trying to consider you. He's trying to say, this person, can I buy from this person? You might not even have any role. You don't know about it at the time. You might not know. So there are two parts of it. If you offer a product-based business, even a service-based business now, right, you need to have a place where you are putting up your portfolio. So either is a website or your content, your maybe your Instagram, your Facebook, like where you are posting that you've already done, right? So this is where a customer is staying and he's considering, can this person do my job even before talking to you, right? Do my job. He hasn't spoken to you yet. It is upon that base that he will now click. He will now call you, even where sometimes you still have qualification and call bookings in qualification and engagement. So it's in that place he decides that, oh, call this person to talk to them. And even at that point, he's still trying to decide, will this person, serve me the way I want? Can I also pay for this person's service? So it's at this level that you flex your muscle and ensure that you make sure that you convince this person that you are the best person for this job. And there are different ways you can do this. Here we talked about offers. You can offer different packages. Not everybody have this, serve them differently. Oh, this is what I can do for you at 30K, you are 50K. Or this what if you're doing 5, if you're doing 10, we'll do a discount. All that can already be on your page, even before they contact you. Or you can say, contact us for a discount. You want them to contact you, right? It can be form, sign up on the form and we'll call you back, or sign up on the form and connect with us, right? So now this is the second layer, and this is, at this point, things are getting, sweeter and hotter. And if you are, or if you have done everything right, the from you, right? So this is where action happens. So at this point, either he has already spoken to you, or he's now picking up the phone to call you to say, how do I pay? Now, you can, if you have set up a system, the person can also just click on a link and make payment, without you even having to have any conversation with them. Now, the third step is follow up and retention. And this is very important because this is where, like, a lot of business, a lot of businesses, they just forget that there's a system there and they can't do anything with that, right? Right. So follow up and retention is about getting somebody that again and getting them to also recommend others. And you can actually really do that very once. Have you reached out to the person and say, hey, how are you doing? How are you enjoying what we served you? Right? Or, hey, how are you doing? I would just like you enjoyed our service. And we are also running this promo right now. If you refer someone to us, we would, give you a 10% commission. Or we are also running this promo right now and we are doing a big discount, and we want our already existing customers to enjoy it. So these are ways like you can actually put up a follow up and retention system. Now, I'm taking my time to go through this sales pipeline because the truth is that if you don't have a system, you can't automate anything. You can't don't already have. So as a business, what system or what process can I set up for my design here? You can just use it and pick out, you actually would be using for your own business. So Epix Graphics, for instance, now one social media, right, or wants to pick a website and landing page lead generation pipeline, right? So he designs a website and he has a social media page with all his portfolio, right? And then there he links his offers. He has the different he has plans. He offers like different packages to say, for instance, for every you can pay 5K, but if you're doing like a bulk order, you can pay 30K. So he has all those things there already on his page, right? And he has all the portfolios and he has testimonials there, So somebody that is coming, has already passed through the lead gen pipeline, is already at the qualification engagement step. Then another thing that the lead gen pipeline does is that when done perfectly and correctly, social media platforms, you also have AI, right, and SEO, like prioritize your business forward when done correctly. That's why I'm starting from the point of how you get customers to the point of how you retain them, right? So for Apex Graphics now, he now also adds a link either on his page or on his landing page to say book a call booking there, and then he can also add templates, right, or purchase my service at this rate, and a design is going to giving an example. Then he doesn't end there. When somebody has signed up, somebody has called him either via WhatsApp or via email, he has the person's email, he can now set up a system that sends time to time, telling them about other services, offers, even trainings that he does, right? So that is of a system that you can set for your own business. So moving on now to tool stack for automation. So following, these are some tool stacks that you can use for each step of your automation process, right? So in terms of lead gen pipeline, remember that we talked about content generation, content strategy, right? So sometimes when people hear content, like it's a lot. I was talking to somebody today, and we were just saying that content creation is not easy. Content creation is not easy, and that is very, very true. Content creation is not easy. A lot of commitment, it's a lot, but thankfully we have AI now to make it easy, right? So you have ChatGTP, you have um Google Flow AI, you have UGC Now I just dropped some platforms here, some tools here that we can use. We have Gemini, we have social media scheduler. So you can actually use these tools to write. You don't have to do content every day when you can actually use these tools to plan your content and schedule them. So say for instance, I go to Gemini, right? I think we can just do that now. Let me go to right. I go to Gemini. I hope you're seeing my screen. I hope you're seeing my screen. So I'm Gemini now. So I'm still using Epix Graphic, for instance, as Gemini. Say say something like create a content, a weeks 12 12 posts for 4 weeks content content plan with counter intuitive intuitive and posts and engaging hooks for a graphics design agency. This is just a schedule of 12 posts that is already done for you for the next 4 weeks, right? So it gives you the idea for right. So what you can also do for that is to expand. So it can be draft full copy for, I can just say here draft full copy for all 4 weeks posts and so if you see this, if you can see my screen, this is a content plan here that's drafted for 4 weeks, right? With 3 posts every week. Topic, you can see the hook, right? Caption, right? You can see the visual direction, like how how the design should look like. You can see what the call to action is. So it has also drafted the exact write-up that you need to use for each of the content. So now your 1 month content is as good as done, right? That's just an example of how you can use AI. So because you need to understand how you use the tools individually, right? Before you now go ahead to each of these tools for them to work automatically for you. So it doesn't matter whether it's Claude you're using, it doesn't matter whether it's Gemini, it doesn't be um, all of them can pretty much give you the same results that you're looking for. So once you right, it has generated the text content, so even the blog post for you that you want to do, right? Please just drop a thumbs up still here. I know you're still here, but just let me know that you're still here, right? So it can be done with any platform. You also have um videos, talking videos with the scripts that you've already generated AI, right? So once you are done with your lead gen, that's how to like generate content and actually schedule this content on your social platform. And after you've created this content, you can now actually batch them on social media. You don't have to be posting every day. You can just go to your Instagram and schedule for the entire month. And by that time, when it's time, you just post for you, right? So the next thing you now have to do is to now set up a qualification and engagement system, right? That is like whichever platform you want to use for qualification and engagement. If you remember when I was talking about systems, right, I talked about how you have to convince the customer, right, by either showing them content, showing them different head of seller. Seller is very useful. The people that are seller. So even your content page, like from your Instagram page, so even from your Instagram page, you just have to connect your seller account to your Instagram page, and it can offer different products or training modules that you're offering from your seller page. And that just immediately you're able to like link customers to actually pay for these products, right? So same thing you can do from your landing. You can actually connect Paystack, connect Flutterwave. Now, if you don't want to collect payments on site, probably if you're running a business where people have to engage the service like before they pay, you can also always have a solution where business. WhatsApp business is very effective. That's why I have it in qualification and engagement. So let's say for instance, you link your WhatsApp to your Instagram, WhatsApp business, and someone chats you, right? Right in that your WhatsApp business, you can get them to book a call with you, right? Or even from your landing page, from your website. And if you're still working with like a fashion business, for instance, you can get them to book a call with you from your Instagram page. Just add the link, right, of your WhatsApp business, and they can actually now book a call with Calendly, and that call will be taken via your WhatsApp business. When it's taken via your WhatsApp, after speaking link for the person to actually make payment, and it can be automatic. The person, with WhatsApp business, send person a message that you can make payment here. And that is like how you can, this can be somebody's own system, like somebody that doesn't want to or is not able to design a website at the time, or design a form at the time. Now I basically talked about conversions as well, which I said you can use Calendly to schedule a call or encourage someone to schedule a call with you, the case may be, or use forms to capture people's intention, right, as the case may be. The next one is follow up and retention, right? Tools you can use for that. HubSpot, MailChimp. Again, you can use WhatsApp business for that, because a lot of people that are working with customers that are not really, very email friendly or email centric. You can use WhatsApp business a lot, right? You can send them follow up messages on WhatsApp business. You can automate your AI messages like every 2 weeks based on how you have categorized them. So there's a lot of automation you actually do with WhatsApp business AI now. All right. Now, if you have set of customers that are used to emails, then that's even better. You can use HubSpot, MailChimp to actually automate and like categorize all your business out to you about suits is receiving a different message. Gowns, someone that reached out to you about from someone that reached out to you about single graphics, because this is probably the bad graphics somebody that reached out to you about trainings is receiving a different message from somebody about just handling a service for them, right? So that is how you can basically, these are the tools you can basically use to set up follow-up and retention. Now that you've heard about all the tools that, and I'm sure some people will be like, these tools are quite a number. Yet there are so many of them for the different levels that you are, for the different level of your sales steps of your sales system. You can see the four steps and the different tools that you can use for them. Now, bear in mind that there are some tools that can actually work for more than one step. You've seen some tools that are showing up in several places. Now is for you to connect these tools together, right? That is why you have this orange thing here that is connecting them together, because they are like, they should work hand in hand in automation. And what that means is that somebody that gets to the first point should be able to get to the second point from the first point, and be able to get to the third point from the first from the second point, and get to the fourth point from the third point, without really having to have anything to do with you per se, except it's a business that requires human touch, that definitely requires human touch, right? So that's where linking it together comes in, right? And I've talked a bit about that. So when it comes to the lead gen pipeline, of course, you set up a system like I've shown you how to create content. You can also use tools like Any8 to connect your um, Gemini account with your Instagram account, actually, to automatically post those texts for you. You can also connect it to your WhatsApp business in such a way that before it makes any post, it will first of all confirm to you that if that post should go out. You can also link it to your Canva software as well, so that it automatically generates a design for you that you can edit before it goes out, or at least approve before it goes out. Now, the content generation system tends to sit alone in the sales automation process. So once you get the customer, right? Once you get the customer, because the customer comes in between your lead gen pipeline and your qualification and engagement. Once you get the customer does not land on your website, because there are some cases, if they don't find you, right, it's possible that after searching online, right, the person lands on your website. So if the person has already landed on your website, then you can just the automation kickstarts, right? But if the person has but if the person is just searching for who can do graphics design for me, he has not landed on your page or your landing page yet, right? At that point, that is where your content is their part, right? So once your content system in one way or the other has got lead to land on your page, everything else moves in the sequence that it has been automated to move, right? The lead gen system that you've set, it's posting frequently every day, or twice a week, thrice a week, as the case may be, and it's getting people to get landing page. So once it points someone to your landing page, the next thing is that, right, and the person has made a decision if they like your product, if they want to speak to you more, or if they are ready to pay. There is a link that is also taking them to sign up on a form. There's a link that's taking them to pay. Even before payment, of course, most times you sign up on a form. There's a link that's taking them to WhatsApp business to book a call. There you've taken their contact, you've taken their email address, you've taken their phone number, and there they have also paid. So conversion has now happened automatically, right, in sync. And then you have taken their contact, and then they have now joined a follow-up system that you've already set up in your email automation, right? So now that's about it. And what I've tried to map out a 30-day plan, right, on how you can actually build your own system from scratch, right? So we would be doing that. We'll be doing that together, but as a workshop where you can choose the right tools for you, right? Where we can come together, I can help you sit down to choose the right tools for you to find out like what system fits your business, choose the right tool for you, and help you automate that process, right? Help you automate the sales process from the point of generating content to the point of qualification and conversion and follow-up and retention. So all of that will now mean that we'll be diving deep into the tools, right? Diving deep into how to set up each of these tools and then connect them, you know, to actually work as a process for your business. So at this point, I'll just allow for questions because I've been talking for some time, right? So let me just allow for questions and then I'm going to talk more about the 30-day workshop. So if you have a question, you can just drop it down. Just drop it at the comments or in the chat section, and I'll take it right away. I'm still waiting for our questions. Do we have any questions? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Thank you. This is really a lot you've shared. Thank you. Thank you so much for. I'm glad that you're gaining something from this. Thank you so much. So, in the next 30 immediately, but at the end of the month, we'll be starting days workshop to help you build your own automation system from scratch. Right. So what that will do for you is that you're going to help you first of all learn how to understand how to pick the tools and build a system that actually is actually for your business, right? We're going to be doing that over course of 30 days because right, it's not possible for us to do it in few hours or do it on this call. So in the next 30 days, I think that should start sometime around the end of August, right? Depending on the interest that this gets actually, right? So we're gonna start a workshop, a 30-day workshop, which might continue to happen where I'll be working with I'm working with solo entrepreneurs, I'm working with businesses that are, interested in building an automation system for their business, right? And some of the things that we're going to be doing is first of all picking the right tools for the business and then building up, setting up tools for each step of the conversion funnel. That's each step of their customer journey, right? So in week one, we're going to be building a lead generation pipeline. Week two, lead qualification, engagement, conversion, and week four, we're going to be running and testing. Right throughout the 30-day workshop, we're going to have four live classes, and I'm going to be working with you hands-on to actually build a sales automation process that is going to work for you and actually deliver the goods. So I am going to be putting the link to the registration form here. Something you want to be part of. If this looks like something you want to do, because you would have to actually put in the work to make. Yeah. So all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed yourself and you learned a thing or two. I'll see you next time in our next live session. I enjoyed this very much, and let me know how YouTube